Hi, it's Scott ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. Sorry, it's not exactly a Halloween one, but people are dressing up like this for Halloween. So anyway, let's talk about the new 4K edition of the original Tron. Tron was released in 1982 with a $17 million budget, went on to make $50 million for Buena Vista Distribution, Walt Disney Pictures. Steven Lisberger directed it. You got stars like Jeff Bridges, Bruce Boxleitner, David Warner, Sidney Morgan, and Bernard Hughes. This is one of my favorite movies from childhood. I mean, it came out when I was in high school. Here's a funny thing. The movie received Academy Award nominations for Best Costume Design and Best Sound, but was disqualified from Best Visual Effects because at the time the Academy felt that using computer animation was cheating. That's kind of funny now because even the big, the smallest drama has some computer generated something in it these days. Anyway, long story short, Tron is a product of his time, but it's also kind of forward thinking if you think about it. It's a pretty good movie by today's standards, and the 4K is amazing. The movie made enough to justify a sequel, but it took forever. We didn't get one until 2010. We got video games and a few other things, but other than that, there wasn't any more official Tron stuff until Joseph Kosinski directed the sequel in 2010, and he's the guy that went on to direct Top Gun Maverick and the more recent F1. So the dude knows how to direct action movies. I will cover that as soon as my 4K comes in. Amazon delayed my release. I don't order a lot from Amazon, but these were hard to get here in the United States, and I've talked about this in another podcast. If you still haven't gotten Tron because they're inexpensive steelbooks, the UK edition of the 4K is a standard edition. It doesn't have a digital copy in it, but it is the same thing that we got over here in the US. They put it in a standard box for less price. There are a lot of U.S. retailers that are selling that for less than the steelbooks are going for if you're looking for that. So anyway, long story short, we're talking about this edition. To talk about the movie would take too long, but this was created in a time that we didn't even have home computers. In 1982, most people didn't have a computer in their house. So that they visualized the idea of a computer world where the bits and sprites and everything were actual things, that the programs actually had feelings to a certain extent. This was a movie about AI before we really totally had a concept of it. There is a little, yes, but we didn't call it that. It's not what, but anyway. Talk about 1982 pushing something ahead. So they did the same thing with the visual effects. The mandate from the director was to make something that really pushed the envelope in visual effects. I think that's why the story sometimes pales. Critics liked the movie at the time, and even now it gets passing reviews, but watching it now, and I've owned every copy. I had it on DVD. I've got the Blu-ray set that has both movies, and it comes with a glowing disc. Yeah, I'm that big a nerd. And then I pre-ordered these immediately because, well, Tron is just part of my DNA. It was a big part because I was just starting to get interested in computers when it came out, and it fostered an interest in computers, in video games, and all that stuff. Kind of this maybe didn't start it because I had a neighbor that had a computer even long before this, but his dad was a computer programmer, and it was a big thing in their basement. And anyway, long story short, that's a whole nother thing. Tron envisioned a world that we're still getting more out of. Joseph Kosinski made a sequel, got some of the original stars to come back. It was great. And now we have a new one coming in theaters this week. So the 4K edition that Disney put out is spectacular. The Blu-ray appears to be the same Blu-ray. It has the same cover. I don't know if it's the same transfer. But I know the 4K is a new 8K restoration. This movie looks fantastic, kids. I mean, the special effects have always been hit or miss. Some of the stuff looks too basic, just polygons and things like that, but other things where they merge worlds and stuff. It really looks spectacular, like colors and how they've kind of tightened everything up. That's one of the greatest things about 4K, that higher resolution tightens up a picture just like it does when you do it on your phone or Instagram or whatever. So anyway, I really liked it. The Dolby Atmos also, it still retains that kind of old 80s sound that the soundtrack always had, but it's more immersive now. It's a bigger sound stage, and Atmos just works. It's amazing that they went to this much trouble to go back to these movies, even with a new one coming out. Neither of the first two Tron movies were spectacular hits, but they kind of became cult classics in their own right. It doesn't totally work now because it just doesn't. It gets from point A to point B and ends fine, but it just kind of ends, actually. That was one of the things I really noticed watching it this time. It just kind of ends on a shot of the arcade in downtown, and it kind of leaves it open, and I'm kind of glad they did. But anyway, it is a product of its time, but it also was way ahead of its time. And if you're a fan, well, then run, don't walk to pick up a copy of this film in 4K. It has never looked better, and I don't think it will ever look any better. It looks spectacular. And I can't wait to get my copy of Tron Legacy and give that a review because I hear great things about that as well. They went back to the original footage. They tried to put things back together with contrast, but they didn't change anything. This is still the Tron you remember. This is just the best it's ever looked or sounded. The Steelbook looks great. There's a lot of extras on here. Some of these were in the original box set that we had. I really haven't done the A-B comparison because I'm waiting till I get the second Tron movie in 4K to kind of compare it to the original two movies. But I did pop in the Blu-ray, and it's not even close. There's some shimmering, there's some shaking, there's some jittery stuff in the original Blu-ray that's not in this new 4K. And like I said, the colors slay. Those bright reds, the bright blues, the purples, the yellows, they were really going for some bright colors at the time, and it really pops out now with HDR. Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, Disney did right with this release. It would have been nice if they'd put it on a bigger disc, or maybe put the extras on here, or maybe some new extras, but there's some semi-new stuff on here. So anyway, check it out. If you're a fan, you've probably already pre-ordered these, but I will tell you it is better picture, better sound than we've ever had. If you want a Steelbook or not, that's up to you. But like I said, there's other retailers in the U.S. that are selling the regular version. Check out Tron. If you've never seen it, just temper your expectations. Watch the first one, then watch Tron Legacy before you decide on how much you like the Tron universe. Because the first one is a product of the 80s, very much so. There's a video arcade that's going to blow some young people's minds when they watch this. We just don't have these kind of things anymore. Anyway, I really enjoyed a trip down memory lane, and what they've done to restore the movie is more than worth the cost. For me, a movie that I will watch more than once. Not everybody has that same experience with Tron, so it's up to you. But if it's a classic to you, pick up the 4K without hesitation. More podcasts on the way, more horror movies too. A lot more horror movies coming up. Happy October, happy Halloween. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe.